favorite tools. Now, for us, that's a bit of a conundrum because I'm always saying to teachers, it's not about the tool, it's about the task. But this week, we're going to focus on some tools that allow us to do some really awesome tasks. And one of the ones that I think is probably really underutilized and maybe not so well known in the G Suite tool is Google Keep. So this morning, we're going to have a look at just what we can do with Google Keep. Now, before we dive in and have a look at it online, I'm going to remind you that it is also an app on your phone. So here it is here, Google Keep. Works on iOS and Android, and in a minute I'll show you what the value is and how amazing a tool it can be on your phone as well. But let's dive in and have a look at the things that we can do with Google Keep. So I'm just going to share my screen and hopefully it's going to come to the right place for us. And here we are inside Google Keep. Now, if Google Keep is new to you and it's something that you haven't really come across or something you haven't really used before, the first question we get asked is, where do I find it? So in your Drive, under your waffle launcher or your 9 dots here in the top right-hand corner, you will find Keep. Now, you'll notice that Keep is in my top row. If there's an app that you use quite often, you can just drop and drag these around. So I've dragged my Keep up to the top. If you're not seeing Google Keep app here in your apps launcher, then it's probably not turned on by your administration. So just have a word with whoever your admin person is and get them to turn it on for you. So what does Google Keep do? It's essentially a note-taking app, I guess. But one of the things that is really, really helpful is, as I said before, on your phone. So I've got Google Keep loaded on my phone. I've signed in with the same account that I'm signed into on my laptop. That's really important, to be signed in with the same account in both places. Now, yesterday I was having a look through our paper and there was a really interesting article about the Anzacs here that I thought might be really helpful. So I opened up my Google Keep app. I used the option to take a photo, which it looks the same as this on your app. It's this little icon here and it says new image. So when you open that on your phone, it allows you to use your camera. Snapped a photo of the article, and the beauty and glory of Google Keep is that there's no transferring from my phone to my laptop. It instantly appears because I took it on my phone, signed in with the same account as I am on my laptop. Here is the photo here. So that's really awesome to be able to transfer documents or photos or any kinds of images from your phone to your laptops seamlessly. Now, once it's in here, you'll notice that over on the left-hand side here, I've highlighted 10-minute tips. So Google Keep doesn't use folders. It works the same way as what your Gmail does. It has labels. So your labels are essentially a folder. So if I clicked on notes, these are all the notes in my Google Keep, and I can scroll down and you can see them all. These ones here are sitting at the top because when I hover over them, you notice the little pin is highlighted. I've pinned these at the top because they're notes that I come back to all the time. I don't want them to disappear in the thread, so you can pin things to the top. But I've added labels to these and I've added a 10-minute tip label. So this image that I took yesterday, when you click on the 3 little dots in the bottom right-hand corner, this is where you'll be able to add a label. And so I added the label of 10-minute tips to these. Now, Google Keep, like we said, is a note-taking app. So we can just use it. We can take notes, we can make reminders, we can add images, we can even add drawings. So if I was to start a new one, I would just click on take a note. I can give it a title. I can write my message in there. I can do any of these things along the bottom here. So I can add a collaborator, and that person is going to be able to add to my same note. So the awesome things about Google Keep is that it has the same sharing options as what you have on any other G Suite tool. I can make my note different colors. So you could be a color coding person who uses different colors for different reasons. I can add an image. Let's just make it white again. I can archive it. And again, we have these magic 3 dots. Now I'm just going to close that for a moment and come back to this one that I did yesterday. So when I click on my magic 3 dots, I think one of the best things about this tool is that when I come down under these 3 dots, I've got an option to grab image text. Now, if I click on that, you can see what it's done is it's pulled all of the text out of that image here, and it's totally editable now for me to use. It doesn't do an absolute perfect job, but it certainly makes it a lot quicker than having to retype things. Now, again, under my 3 dots here, I can copy this straight to a Google Doc. So it's going to send the image and all this editable text straight to a Google Doc for me, where I can format it and I can share the doc and I can do whatever it is that I want with that information. So that's a really handy tip, to be able to grab the image out of any text. So this is an image. It'll do it from PDFs, it'll do it from anything. So that's pretty cool. I could also add a drawing to this document here, and I'll show you tick boxes on a separate one in a moment. So that's a pretty awesome function of Google Keep. Another really awesome function of Google Keep is in the app version, you have one extra tool that we don't have here on the web, and that's to add a voice note. So you can use your voice and you can just record your messages on your phone. Now, I did this one yesterday. I literally opened the voice note, I spoke the words, organized the 10 tips for Google Keep. It typed them for me, but it also turned them into an audio note. So I can just play that.
Organize the 10 tips for Google Keep.
And you can see I sounded incredibly excited about leaving that voice note. But the power in this one here is that I can now download that audio as a separate audio file. Now, a lot of the times when we're doing trainings, could be the same when you're at work, people will say, what's an online audio recorder? What's a quick way to record my voice? And we'll give them a couple of websites. And then often people will say, oh, we haven't got access to that one. You don't actually need any voice recording software at all. You have it on your phone, built in to Google Keep. How cool is that? And not only did it record my voice, but it actually typed the words as I was saying it. So double fold win for us here. We can record an audio file that we can use somewhere else, and it's also speech to text. And again, did it on my phone, it instantly appeared on my laptop. How helpful is that? Now, Google Keep also has a drawing option, so that works on the web and in the app version. So if you've got a touch screen, or if you're pretty good with your mouse, you're a doodler or you're a sketchnoter, or you're somebody who just likes to represent things visually, you can click on your 3 dots. You can add a drawing, or when you start a new one, you can just click on the paintbrush and it will open us up the drawing tools. So you can see they are pretty simple drawing tools. You have a selection of colors, a selection of pen widths. You've got a couple of different choices of pens. You've got a few different backgrounds that you could use, and it will just draw for you. So you can see, there we are. I'm not really quite sure what their drawing is, but your back arrow will take you back to your note. You can put some messages underneath it. You can share that note. You can color that note. You can send it straight to a Google Doc. You've got all those same options of things that you can do. Now, just before we finish, the other really awesome thing, we could go on about Google Docs for ages, but you will notice that in your Gmail, in your Drive, in your Docs, in your slides, in your sheets, you have the side widget down the side, and Google Keep is here as well. So when you open it from here, it pops out to the side of whatever the tool is that you have it open in at the time. Now, one of the ways that I use this really often is in my mail. So if I just close my calendar for a moment, which was also opened for a side widget, open the Google Docs widget, I will often get requests from people asking if I can give them edit access to a file. And so I just have a reply sitting here in my Drive. I just double click on it. I can just copy that reply, and then I can just paste it into my email and send it off. Now, I know I can use a canned response or a template response as well, but often I just want to put it in a reply. I don't want it to be a whole new email. So just having these pinned at the top is a really quick way to be able to copy and paste something that you might be using a lot and you don't want to have to keep retyping. So there's a very, very quick rundown of Google Keep. The one thing actually come back that I didn't show you was if we click on the tip here, we can make this a tab list as well. So maybe this is going to be my shopping list. We can use it for home as well as we can for work. And the great thing about this, you can see it's coming up with some suggestions for me. And this little button here is a reminder. So I can set myself a reminder. And the really awesome thing is that you can set yourself a reminder by place. So if I set my reminder as Countdown Ponsonby, when I arrived at Countdown Ponsonby, it's going to pop up on my phone. Last minute tip for you with Google Keep. So hopefully, let's just come back, turn the camera back on. Hopefully that's given you a very quick whirlwind tour of Google Keep. If you haven't used it before, I highly recommend investigating it. Really, really useful, really helpful, and being able to access it there in that widget makes it super purposeful. So have a good day, enjoy your cup of tea, and Sam will be back with us tomorrow sharing some tips and tricks and some things about OneNote. Have a good day.